What is going on, everybody? It's Austin Holloman, the only Austin Holloman you'll ever see. I'm gonna wait till we get about 100 people in here. We'll start giving an update. But if you guys have not already, get a video a like. Ask any questions you have. I'll probably be on here for about an hour and a half. Yes, they do grow tobacco out here, but I've never had a Kenyan cigar, only Cameroon and Mozambique. I think most cigars outside of that ain't really cutting it. Good to see y'all as well. We got 38 people watching. 38 people. I hope you guys are enjoying the interviews. If you guys are not happy with the interviews and you want to see what Nairobi looks like, if you follow me on Instagram, you can see stuff that I'm doing on a daily basis. I haven't been posting as much as I usually do because I've been spending a lot of money on this apartment. This apartment is nearly fully furnished except for the last bedroom. All I really had to get is stuff that isn't necessary to live here. Well, I don't have pots and pans. I have dishes, forks, and knives, but I don't have pots and pans, so I can't cook if I want to, which I wouldn't anyway. But I have all my rugs. I have my TV. I have my coffee table, my TV stand, little plants to just add here. I have turf on the patio. I have a patio set in this first balcony. I gotta get another one for the second balcony. Obviously, I got my couch right here. Water dispenser, refrigerator, washing machine, my bed. Toilet brush, stuff like that. Sound bar for my TV. And like I said, I got rugs and mats and all that. Now, somebody asked me, have you found a way around having to leave every 90 days? If you guys don't know, I don't have that issue because my 90 days was a couple days ago. But the work visa is the most important thing for me. At first, they tried to do like a retirement visa with me. I'm too young for you. I think you got to be 30 for that. I'm nowhere near 30 yet. Well, I'm near it, but I'm not close enough to say I am. But I do have Kenyans that work for me, so the employment visa. Somebody said the Africa hate is real right now. You won't have to worry about a bunch of black Americans coming. Surprisingly, online, a lot of people are talking shit. But first of all, I have a lot of clients that come out here. I have at least 2 or 3 clients, let me say 2 on average, but 2 to 3 clients that come into town every single week. And only one of them has not been black and they have not made it yet. So they're saying that online, but they're not the majority of the people that they're not the majority of the people that are actually coming here. They don't come here. And if you don't like Africa, I don't give a fuck. I'm not from here, and I don't give a damn about your opinion anyway. You're entitled to your own opinion. Just stay where you at. Like, I don't really like Asia like that. I also don't talk about that shit. If you don't like something, why you talk about it? Anyway, the cigar that we're smoking today is a Don Parliament Merchant cigar. It's a medium, and it was a huge, I don't know, I'm not good with ring gauges yet, but it's a good size ring gauge, but it was a Churchill, so I've been smoking it for like 2 hours now, and I still got a little over an hour left of smoking. But yeah, guys, I have been doing so much. I've been paying off my debt, furnishing this apartment, while still going on dates and the gym and hanging out with friends and meeting with clients, which keeps me busy all the time. Some people that reach out to me, they see me in person, they're like, hey, I've been trying to call you. And I'm like, who are you? I don't even know how the hell you got my number. And they're like, what's up? Like, what's up? Why didn't you answer the phone? Because I don't fucking have to. I don't even know you. I don't know why people feel the need. And it's not Kenyans don't do that. Maybe I've had one do that, but it's usually Americans or some other foreigner that does that. Why didn't you answer the phone? Do you think you the only motherfucker trying to call me? I got like 600 unread messages I haven't gotten back to. So it's not, I don't just sit around and just yap all day on the phone. I have friends that I used to talk to on the phone all day, every day when I was in Turkey, Europe, South America. I'm back out here, you know, I don't, this is really the place that God wants me to be at. I don't have time. Where God didn't want me to be, I had plenty of time talking on the phone. Now I don't have time talking on the phone. In Nairobi, I find myself socially exhausted, physically exhausted, because I'm living my life out here. I have stuff that I'm doing all the time. My life's not too boring at all in Nairobi. Now I'm doing this live stream today because somebody left a comment last night on one of my videos saying that they wanted me to do a Q&A. They wanted me to do a Q&A, and I'm here for that. Sir Wolflock, what's going on? Ronald. Yeah, so I'm not at NSK today, number one, because it's just white people at NSK, and it's just mainly a bunch of Kenyan girls that go for white guys. Last year it wasn't like that. But if you go on a Thursday night now, like since I've gotten back, when I go to NSK on Thursday nights, I just find myself just standing there. Last year I could socialize a little better, but the girls that go to NSK, they've never really been talking about anything. They don't ever really talk about anything. Yeah, no more debates with date. Like here's where I'm at now. Like I never really cared about what those people thought about me or what they thought about what I say. But I didn't have nothing to do. So I had the time to entertain like the stupidity that they were talking about. You guys used to see me go back and forth with YouTubers in other countries because I was in Turkey, I was in Europe, I was in South America. So if they're talking shit about me, okay, I got plenty of time to go back and forth with you. I'm not really doing shit. But here, I don't really, even when people send me those videos of people talking about me, I still don't even see it. Like, I don't get it. And some of these people still talk. I've seen some, and I'm like, oh, they're still making videos about me? I'm like, damn. At this point, this motherfucker must be gay. But I'm gonna give you guys, when we get to about 250 people, I'll give you guys a tour of what the apartment looks like currently. and then we'll go back to our Q&A. So if you guys don't know, one thing about being in underdeveloped countries is they have little regulations on shit that you think would be regulated. So one thing that I thought, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you know about this. I probably should make a quick short out of it for my YouTube. But if you guys know, I recently fell into a fucking pothole. Like what you would see on a cartoon is what happened to me, is what I'm saying. So basically, I failed by not failing. Some people think like I failed, like I tripped and my foot was caught. No, I was literally inside the fucking ground for a few seconds. And I had to lift myself out of a fucking pothole. Literally. I was leaving this mall. Let me get some more wine before I tell y'all this. Y'all like the video if y'all have not already. So I was leaving. Somebody said Roadrunner. Exactly. That's what I mean. When I think of the cartoon I'm talking about, that's the cartoon I thought of when I was explaining this to people. When I said it was like a cartoon, I thought of what is the Roadrunner cartoon? What was the name of that show? I don't know, but that's what I'm talking about. So I was leaving the club I had been drinking. This did not happen because I was drinking. This happened because that damn hole shouldn't have been there to begin with. Now, I had ordered a taxi, and I've gotten taxis from the same mall at night probably 100 times, literally. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go over here to over here. And so I did something that I usually don't do. Usually I'll walk behind the cars and look for the taxi. But today I was like, I'm gonna walk in front. I think that's the car right there. So I'm just gonna, instead of me walking around, I'm just gonna walk in the front right there. So I walked in the front and it's pitch black dark on this in front of these taxis. It's pitch black dark. I can't see anything except the cars, but I can't see the ground because it's that dark. And I'm not really expecting there to be a hole in the ground. And I'm walking and I think I was either talking on the phone or I was texting on the phone. I was doing something. I was looking at, actually, no, I wasn't talking or texting. I was looking for the license plate number because I had seen the car. So while I'm walking up to the car, I'm walking at a regular speed, and then next thing I know, I'm literally underground. My head wasn't underground, but all the way up to my waist. So literally half of my body was under the ground. Now I had struggled, I didn't just fall right in, literally like a cartoon, but like I had struggled to fall in. Like I was trying to stop from falling in. So my knee, my shin hit, I guess, the edge of the hole in front of me, which was concrete, and it cut the living shit out of me. I'm surprised it didn't cut my pants. And I bought these jeans from this store here in Nairobi for $21. So every client that comes into town, I'm gonna tell you guys that you guys need to come and buy a pair of jeans. Because if you can spend $20 on a pair of jeans, and I got this super deep cut on my shin, and the jeans literally only needed to be washed. They weren't ripped, cut, nothing. Nothing. Thank you, Almost Coach, for becoming a member. So then, whenever I fell in my shin first, that one got cut. And then the other edge of the hole inside of me, my hip hit it. When I was trying to resist falling in it, my hip hit it. And then this is a hole along the sewage line. So I fell in sewage water. And I was headed to another club. And I don't even like going to clubs anymore. I was just doing this because I had a guy that came in town, and I was just trying to show him a club, and I was supposed to go back home, but I got invited out to another one, so I was gonna go to another one. So I fell in sewage water. My entire left leg was wet, but I think I had my right leg kind of pinning up against the wall, and this is why you guys need to do leg day. You guys need to do leg day. If you guys are not in the, like, if you're not in the gym, you probably would have, if it was raining and there was high pressure water pushing through, it probably would have just took your ass right up out of here. That's why going to the gym is more than just looking good and being able to pick girls up. Like, it's really gonna make your life easier. So when I realized what had actually happened, like, shit, I fell in the hole. I had to put, and this is part of the going to the gym too, I was able to push myself up because my leg was soaking wet. And we're talking about sewage water. The water is like blue and green, the dirty, dirty water. I got up and I looked back, just like, who the fuck just saw that? Like, what? Because I'm still not in belief that I just fell in a fucking hole. So I looked back. It was a group of girls sitting in the car, and they was laughing, and they asked me if I was all right. And I was like, shit, I've never had anything like that happen. But they were telling me like that happens all the time. And some people can actually die. Luckily, that hole wasn't deep enough because I felt the bottom of it. But if it's some manholes are not that shallow, some could be deep enough and you could literally fall all the way in. And if it's raining, it could literally just wash you down the sewage line. And there'll be so much water, you'll just drown while you're being washed away. Now, I have no idea why a hole big enough for a full-grown man is not covered. But I had seen that. I didn't see, like, it was almost like the sidewalk had a gap in it. It wasn't like I fell off to the side. It was like the sidewalk had a gap in it. So you would, like, anybody that would have walked down that same sidewalk at night, the same shit would have happened. Because it was too unpredictable. So I told my friends, like, yeah, fuck that club. I'm going home because I got to take a shower. I had a chick coming over anyway. She was waiting to come over. I just told her, just go ahead and come over. Shit, I thought I was going to stand her up. I said, just go ahead and come over. Shit. I got in the car. I looked at my leg. I was bleeding so much. I'm going to show you. I was bleeding. That's the part where my shin was at. And I would show you the other cut, but the other cut is on my hip, but it's close to my ass, and I ain't finna pull my ass out on YouTube. So anyway, I got in the Uber, I went home, and I just took off those stinky, stinky jeans and just threw them on the floor and got straight in the shower, and the shower was just bloody, 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 bloody. Now, luckily, the leg that got cut was not the leg that got wet. My right leg was surprisingly completely dry, and that's because I stopped my leg from going in there. My left leg was completely submerged in this fucking sewage water. And I took a shower. I dried off. I thought I was probably done bleeding after about 20 minutes of being in the car and getting in the shower. And then I went to dry off, and then I was still bleeding plenty. So my my towel was bloody as fuck. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll stop in a minute. But I was still drunk. So I was like, okay, I'm about to go get, I'm about to just go sit in the bed for a minute. So I jumped in the bed and I leaned on the bed for a second, not realizing that I was still like just leaking blood. And so the new comforter I just bought, it probably could be spot clean, but it was just bloody. And then when I reached down, I had blood on my hands, and then I touched it on the sheet, and then I touched it on the pillow. Luckily, I bleached it, and it all came out, thank God. But because I just bought that shit. But the comforter still has blood on it. And I still got my action for the day. So I still had a good time. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna let this heal. It's just a cut. And then I tried to go to the gym the next day, and I was limping. I was limping at the gym, slightly bleeding, maybe a drop an hour, not really. By the time I left the gym, I was still limping, and by the time I got home, I was in pain. By the time the night came around, I couldn't walk, and I was hopping on that foot. And I'm like, shit. So then I kind of ignored it. I thought maybe it's just sore today. And the next day, I ignored it, and I'm like, it'll get better. And then, but I really could not walk at all the next day on that foot, on that leg. And it was swollen to about twice the size of my other leg. It literally looked like I had that elephantitis, or I had like a fucking Shrek leg. And it was numb, and I couldn't feel it. So the next day, I was sweating. I was sweating, and I was in bed sweating, and I could barely fall asleep. I couldn't fall asleep. I just felt really, really sick. And I wasn't really thinking about my leg. I'm like, oh shit, I hope I don't have no fucking HIV. That's the first thing I thought, because the symptom of that is night sweat. So I went and bought a test. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't the problem. So I went to the pharmacy again the next day, and I told them, and they gave me antibiotics and inflammatory medicine. And it's slightly swollen now, but it doesn't hurt, and I can walk just fine on it now. I'm not limping at all. I still have about 4 or 5 more days of this amoxicillin they gave me. But literally, by the second dose of antibiotics they gave me, I started feeling better, and the swelling started going away, and the redness started going away. But the reason I was sweating in the bed was because I had an infection in my leg, and I guess my body was trying to fight it off. I couldn't sleep. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you already heard that story. But if not, that's why I said, if you come to Nairobi, now if you stay in like Kitisuru, you won't see too many potholes in the road. But if you stay, since I moved closer to the action, like I'm not in Westlands, I'm in Kilauea. If you stay in Kilauea, Westlands, Upper Hill, places like that, you'll see more holes in the street. I don't know why they're more in that area, but they are. When I was staying in Kitisuru, I never saw that. That's also, Gigiri and Kitisuru is also the area where the UN is at, up in the north. So maybe they just not having that shit over there. But yeah. So that is a huge warning. Do not, from now on at nighttime, if I go anywhere where I cannot see completely in front of me, like I could see in front of me, but I couldn't see the ground. And I just assumed that the entire fucking ground was solid. I didn't think there was gonna be, maybe there might be a hole, but not big enough for me to fit completely in there. Shit. I'm pulling out my flashlight. But my curfew is midnight anyway. My curfew, when we get 5, 6 more people, we'll do a tour of the apartment. My curfew is midnight. So, that being said, the chances of that happening again, God forbid, are slim. I forbid that happens again. God forbid. Now, we got 254 people in here now, so I'm gonna show you guys what my apartment looks like. I actually almost stay in on the week. Like I don't even party really anymore now. I enjoy drinking and hanging out, but I'm doing that shit during the daytime. Doing that at night, I like waking up at 7 a.m. I'd rather be drunk at 5 p.m., get home by 8, and continue on the next day. But going to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, no. So I'm gonna show you guys the apartment for a second. We're gonna start from the front door. Now, when you walk in, this is the mat. I think I should have got a bigger one, but it'll do for now. I got a shoe rack there. This came with the apartment. I didn't get that. There's nothing really but like my clippers and stuff are in there and some other stuff. Got the bathroom. A little mat for you to stand in so your feet can be nice and cushioned while you're right there. And then we have a shower that has never been used. That's why I don't have the separate mat in there. But if you guys spent the night, which you can't because I only have one bed, I haven't done a second bedroom. I have towels and stuff. Then we have my refrigerator, trash can, 2 mats. For some reason, finding the long mat that runs in front of the stove and all that is like asking for a meeting with the president for some reason. Like you can't, it's probably the same difficulty as wanting to meet the president. That's how hard it is to find that mat. I got my couch. The couch was custom made here. You couldn't go to the store and buy this exact one because I had her make it for me. I had no couch for 10 days because it was well worth the wait. It's very comfortable. I can tell that in 5, 10 years, maybe not 10, but maybe so. But let's say, I think maybe 7 years. I don't know, because it's the same lady that made Troy's couch. I had to ask him how long has he had his. But the order that I bought this in was, I bought the TV first. And if you guys are wondering why it's not hanging, is because for some reason she said you can't hang the TV. So I have the TV there, and then I got the stand next. Then I got the sound bar, and then I got the table, which I'm gonna replace that table because I found a bigger one for double the price, but it's still better because it's bigger. And then I got the rug, and then the couch came last. I got these 2 plants. If you guys seen them last time, they were in originally like black, the little shit that you buy them in. So I bought vases because the roots were starting to grow outside of the soil. So I bought a new vase, and I guess pot. It's not a vase, it's a pot. And in about 3 or 4 months, I'm gonna have to buy some new ones because those get kind of big from what I saw. And then we got a water dispenser, which is absolutely necessary, not just in Africa, but anywhere else you go. And if you guys don't know, Africa gets cold enough to where you need a heater sometimes at night. So today, I actually got this turf installed, which makes it better. And I don't walk around my house with shoes, but I'm walking around with these because those shoes don't leave the house anyway. They used to be outside shoes. But this was regular like tile right here. So it used to be pretty cold. But I got this here. I have the patio set, and I got a vase for this plant. I saw this plant at Village Market fully grown, and it was probably twice my height. So I can imagine I'm gonna have to get a way bigger pot for that eventually. But I have a washing machine, which is absolutely necessary. There's a hot water heater there. I don't have a servant, but if I did, this would be the room that they have. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just stuff I just put in here. But I don't have pots and pans yet. I have my dishes, these are like some gray stone dishes that I bought or whatever. And I have some glasses. I already broke 2 of them, so I had to buy 2 more. And I have my forks and knives and all that. But I still got a little stuff to get because I couldn't fry an egg if I want to because I don't have pots and pans. Next. Hold on. So I'm gonna put a painting right here, and I'm gonna put living room shears here. I'm gonna take my time because I done spent a shitload of money doing this shit already. And I might put a painting up here as well. And maybe a rug, run a rug from like right here to right there. I don't know. Because there's an echo that starts right here. And I've gotten the echo out of this room, obviously. Then I have my second bedroom, which has nothing in it. But you can see there's an echo in here, and there would be something else there. Next, I have my bedroom, which is my next task. I still need to get decorative pillows to put there. Maybe that'll just be gray, I don't know. But I have curtains here, and I have shears as well for those. I have this rug, and I need to get some black, maybe black. So finding a black nightstand, unless if I get it custom made, finding a black nightstand seems like it's asking for too much as well. I have not been able to, because I need to get one for here and one for there. And maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna put right there, but it'll be a little space so I can put something there. And my dirty clothes hamper is there, and I need to put some, I don't know if it needs to be 2, but whatever. And one thing I do like about this place is that my room has its own patio, which is a reason for motherfuckers when they come over, y'all don't need to be in my room at all. Now those green chairs that I was sitting in the living room originally are here. This patio's a little smaller, but I had to get another, maybe I get a patio set for here. I smoke cigars, so more than likely I'm gonna need a table, so I probably would get another patio set and get the same view. Yeah, no TV in the bedroom. I mean, I would put one in the bedroom, but like I don't really have any interest. I don't watch TV enough to put one in the bedroom. I watch documentaries, and that's fine for me to do on the other thing. And then I have my bathroom here. I'm gonna replace those mats. Those were just mats to put on there. I'm gonna get some better ones. But yeah, that's there. And people say that, oh, I seen somebody leave a comment like, oh, Austin, hire a maid. I don't need to hire a maid because my place never gets dirty. That's why, because I take care of it. Like the way how it looks right now, you can come to my place any time of day and it'll look like this. Like the most dishes, like I got a glass of wine there and I need to wipe off that counter or that table. And I got some yogurt I was eating a minute ago and some whatever I was doing with this earlier. But this is like the most you'll see, and I won't go to sleep before this gets clean, which will take 2 minutes. So, no, I'm not worried about that. So when you guys see me talk about like, oh, if a woman comes over, she needs to make my bed back. You fucking right, I said it, because even if you wasn't here, my shit was gonna be made. So what I'm basically saying is, don't come over here. Don't come over here and fuck my shit up and just walk out. That's not how that works. Because I block your ass. Now, yeah, exactly. Keep my shit the way that you found it. So I'm not asking you to come over here to be my servant. I'm not asking that. But if you take something out that cabinet, you better put that shit back. If you finish that roll of paper towels, you better throw that cardboard away. And I'm gonna let you slide for not knowing where the other paper towels may be at. But you could just ask me that and I'll just put it there. But don't leave that cardboard on the damn thing. Don't leave that toilet paper cardboard on the thing. Don't get out of my bed. I don't give a damn. Don't get out of my bed and just wrap it. No, put it back. And if you want to argue with me, how much effort does it take? That's what I like to say. So like, for example, this bottle of wine is sitting where you could see the label. It's for a fucking reason. Now, if you use my bottle of wine, I don't care. This might be just being too. Don't sit my shit back like this. Well, Austin, that's you being so exact. But how much effort does this take? That took a second. You lazy motherfucker. Just do it. Here's my thing. If I go to your crib, I'ma put shit back. If your crib was a mess, I'ma make it a mess when I leave. But if your crib was clean, it's gonna be clean whenever I get through it, whatever I touch. That's all I'm asking you to do. Because if you're my company, and every time I leave, I gotta do a deep clean, I'm not gonna invite your ass back over because you're a burden. You're a burden. Like every time I see you, I'm gonna be like, oh, well, here she come or here he come. I gotta clean up the house. I know I gotta do chores whenever no. And somebody said very specific. I'm gonna tell you why. And I got this from my mom because she's the one that really taught me about all this stuff. So if you have a pantry with seasonings and you're cooking, you can cook a lot faster if you can reach in that pantry and just say, oh, there goes the oregano, grab that. But if you put my shit back and all the labels turn to the side, turn to the back, now instead of me just grabbing it, I gotta fucking find it. Everywhere has its own place. That way, if I'm looking for, oh, well, where's my cigar match at? I mean, not my cigar match, my cigar lighter. It's usually in the same place every day. So I don't have to look for it. And if it's not there, somebody stole it or I lost it. If I want to find anything, it's at the same place. And if you value your own time, you would understand why I say, put shit back where you found it. My remote, I only have one TV in this house. For no reason should the remote ever be in my bathroom that's on the other side of the apartment. If it's on the kitchen in there, okay, whatever, but it's always on this damn table. That way when I need it, I know exactly where it's at. Saving time. Yeah, I know I look a little tired right now though. Somebody said I look better. I do look better now. Thank you. First of all, I do look better now that I've traveled. Man, it's constantly raining out. It's supposed to be raining for like the next 10 days. But one thing in Nairobi, I can only count on one hand how many days it's rained from sun up to sundown. Usually it'll rain for like 4 or 5 hours and then it'll be bright sun, summertime sun, And then at midnight, it'll rain again. Somebody said, "What does my apartment smell like smoke?" Never. I mean, it only smells like smoke when I'm smoking. But I have the window open, not because I don't want it to smell like smoke, because if you hotbox a cigar, it's not the best. It's not a good idea. You would just be too sleepy. It'll be toxic. You're not supposed to hotbox a cigar. But I burn incense all throughout the day. Okay, I have the relaxation, I have serenity, I have harmony, and I have sage for whenever you motherfuckers with this bad energy come over here, I can burn it and talk to the Holy Spirit after you leave. I might talk to the Holy Spirit while you in here. Hot box is like whenever you shut the door or you let all the windows up in the car and you smoke and the smoke is trapped. No, people do that with weed. Don't do that with a cigar. Don't do that. And incense are cheap out here. Incense are like 70 cents for like 30 of them. So I bought like 3 boxes of them. And I burned 2 or 3 a day. So some people say that they can smell cigars in my front door. But when they walk inside, they can't smell them anymore. I don't know how that's possible, but I guess. Yeah, you can get Cuban cigars in Nairobi, but it's a ripoff. Cuban cigars in most countries are a ripoff. I order food. Yes, I do order food. I order food. If I'm sitting in the house all day or when I'm in the house, I order food. I order my cigars. And they're usually like, come to the security and get it. I say, no, just tell them I'm going to give them 100 shillings. I know that's more than it costs for y'all to deliver it, but I'm not going down there. That's a journey to go back down to the front to get that. Y'all bring it up here. Somebody said, do they have weed? Yes, illegally. I don't smoke weed though, so I wouldn't really know. But I've seen it here, but I don't smoke weed. I have a year lease with this apartment, but I might stay 2 years, just because of whatever reason. But my plan is by the time February rolls around, this place should be fully furnished. There's no rush to get the second bedroom furnished, but maybe. I might make it into a studio and I just sit down and do interviews and live streams, for hours at a time. Or I might just make it into a bedroom. It depends on how many people I want thinking they can stay in my house. Now, what else do you guys want to know about Nairobi? I'm drinking wine, so I'll tell you guys a little more. I'm drinking some wine, so. Let me get some water. Tell me, type a question that you want me to answer about Nairobi, and I'm gonna answer it for you right now. The women, Howard, I knew y'all was gonna ask that. The women are amazing. They're so friendly. They have the most impeccable style. They smile. They're black. Everybody got ass. I mean, and I'm not, if you guys have been here, you guys know I'm not exaggerating. I've been here for 90 days straight now, and I was here for 4 months last year. And I am still shocked at what I see walking around. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this shit is like still unreal. and they're friendly. Like they smile, they got good conversation, they like to hang out. The downside is a lot of them drink, which is not a problem. I'm drinking right now. I damn near drink every day. Not every day, but I drink enough. Uh, there's two groups of women. You have some that are alcoholics, and you have some that drink socially. At first, I didn't mind the alcoholics, and then I started dealing with them. I'm like, that you drinking vodka straight out of the bottle? You drinking gin straight out of the bottle? Whiskey straight? That shit does not look good. That just turned me off a little bit. Okay. Uh, it's 8 a.m. and you're drunk already? That's not a good look. Okay, I need to switch up. I need to switch it up. I need to, cause I know all of them don't do this. I'm doing something wrong. I need to go over here. Let me go to this side. Ask anybody that's come to Nairobi. It's such like a party culture out here. It's normal for people to wake up 8 a.m. taking shots. And I'm like, well, you don't have shit to do today. I can see that, and it's Tuesday. I don't have a job either. I have a routine, but I'm not, bro, I done been on, even when I went to Brazil my first trip and I was a barber, and I was literally on vacation. I'm not on vacation anymore. I was literally on vacation. And I would still be looking like, it's 10 a.m. It's too late. It's too early to drink. Like, let me move around first. I don't want to get drunk too soon, because it's not even about if you got stuff to do. It's just if you get drunk, when you get drunk, the more you drink, the more you want to sleep. Like you start feeling good and you laughing, and then 4 or 5 drinks in, you ready to sleep. That's why it's when you hanging out at a club at a certain point, you just like, okay, I'm tired. Or it could be because you up at 3 in the morning, or both. But I have shit to do every day. Like I go to the gym, I got little errands to run. Sometimes I want to be in my right mind. I enjoy being lit. I like being tipsy too. But I got other shit to do. And if you guys come to Nairobi, there are a lot of women that just wake up drinking throughout the day, drinking. And I'm like, have you ate anything? Like, what have you been doing today? This is every time I see you, it's 11 a.m. and you already lit. That's not a good look. So I started realizing, I need to like really fuck with like the gym trainer, the nurse, the real estate agent, the doctor, the social media manager. Like they drink. But it's literally like, okay, it's 5 o'clock. Like it's time for me to have a glass of wine or a couple shots or whatever. That's cool, but damn, all day? And I just said I'm not on vacation. But technically I'm living on vacation. But I'm not even doing that shit. So you guys got to watch the crowd you deal with wisely. Somebody said the gym girls are getting piped by the personal trainer. Don't worry, I'm piping them too. That's fine. But anyway, I didn't say the gym girl. I was saying the actual personal trainer, like the female personal trainer. Somebody that's got something going on. What about work? What kind of work? How is cold approaching? It's like being in heaven. It's like being in heaven. If you're worried about, guys, it's really, I'm gonna go to other countries and, other places, but I really don't have the need. I don't feel the need to. I really don't. Somebody said compare Rwandan women to Kenyan women. I have no experience. I mean, I do have experience with them, but like, not enough. I went to Rwanda. I spent 10 days trying to figure out like, okay, where did the women hang out? Like, I didn't seen the food. I didn't went to the silent party with all these people singing on the bus, and went off into another city, seen the fazenda and all that. I did the bow and arrows. I did all the tourist shit. Now I'm trying to really kick it. And I think I went to one club that was probably 50% men, 50% women. Every other club I went to was 90% men, probably 95%. And most clubs I've been to in Africa was like that. It was like that in Senegal, Zambia, Uganda, Rwanda, and the other three countries. Ghana wasn't really like that. I mean, sometimes it'd be like that, but you would still see, there was places where you could see plenty of women. Kenya is not like that at all. Like, there's certain places you can go to. Like, if you go to a real local spot that's gonna be really cheap to be at, like the cheap local spots, not the, because they have some expensive ones where it'll be a good ratio. But if you go to the cheap spots, like, yeah, it's gonna be 80% guys in there. But if you go to the more expensive spots, it's gonna be like 80% women in there. Which, and at times it's, I've been out here long enough. It's still shocking. Like, damn, look at how many girls are in here. And like, out of 80%, like 60% of them look good. I mean, no, out of 80%, 80% of them look good. It's crazy. I'm renting this apartment. I haven't bought one. I still have other stuff, guys. I still got to pay off my student loans, which is like just 10,000. But I got to pay off my student loans, and I gotta get my shit, like, I gotta get everything straightened out, and then I'll be ready to start really like investing, seriously. Besides buying stocks and crypto, to me that's like, that's yeah, it's little shit, but I haven't done the real yet, so. 10K in student loans. I went to barber school, so you could take student loans out for that. And I did 3 semesters in college, and I dropped out I did 3 semesters in college, dropped out to be a barber, and then went to barber school. It's gonna take you 3 years to start settling down here. Yeah, well, I honestly think like being like monogamous in Nairobi is like fucking impossible. I just don't see it happening. Like, I just don't. Like, I've tried a few times, like, oh, like, like, I'm digging her a little bit, like, and sometimes it's her, and sometimes it's like, what about all that over there? Like, I don't know. And it's not like, oh, that's nothing. I don't know. It's something. It's something over there. I'm like, okay. So I had to tell him, like, look, like, we cool and all that, but, I can't yet. I'm not ready for that yet. If you cool with that, that's cool. But if you're not, you're not. But it's a lot of, oh my God. I can't. Anybody that came out here and said it's not a lot is a goddamn liar. That's all I gotta say. If you guys are on a Patreon, I talked a little bit about, I would say it here, but it's too explicit. If you go on my Patreon, I just uploaded a video. That was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. where I'm just like overloaded, and I'm like, Jesus, like this shit is like, if you come from the States to here, like you will cry going back home. Like you can't just come from the States and then go back. I mean, come here from the States and then go back and just be like, oh, it was cool. Like, you know, no, it's just not happening. And somebody said Brazil's better variety. Fuck that variety. I don't give a fuck about variety. If you've been here, you'll know why you don't give a damn about variety. When you come to a place like this, variety doesn't matter. And I mean, honestly, there's a variety out here. I mean, you have light skin, dark skin, brown skin. You have like refugees from other countries. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that because it seems from what I've seen, Kenya is literally like a refugee hotspot. Like you can find people that have fled from Eritrea, Somalia, even like Ethiopia. All of them aren't refugees, but I'm saying the UN is out here, and like some of these people really are refugees. So there is a fucking Sudan, like you can find a variety out here. So Jamal says economically, America is better. Socially, Africa is better than America. Everywhere. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Everywhere is better than America socially. Did you link up with Pan African? No, I did not. I hear he's in Nairobi. I think he has my number. I know he has me on Twitter. If he shoots me a message, I can meet up with him tomorrow. Not for long though, because I got some more action tomorrow. I mean, I have to. This is the place where I have to like I damn near got to turn off my phone. Like, okay, look, I'm done fucking with everybody, and I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about friends, women. They're like, look, I'm not doing nothing today. I'm not getting drunk today. I'm not kicking it at Village Market. I'm not kicking it at Sarah today. I'm not going to this. I'm not going to that. Today I need to stay in the house before my liver dies. Don't go to Kenya for light-skinned chicks, though. I disagree with you. They're not the majority, but there's no shortage of them. There's no shortage. They're not the majority, but there's no shortage. Somebody said better off in Latin America if you want light-skinned black women. Yeah, if you want a white boy that'll just walk in a room and steal your whole goddamn show, go back over there. Because here's my thing. People, I'm gonna make this shit quick because I ain't gonna talk about this for too long. People like to say like, in Kenya, maybe in other parts of Africa, but in Kenya, in Nairobi, they say, oh, they white worship. I don't know what the hell you talking about. There is a certain group of women in Nairobi that fuck with white boys. There's a group. Like it's a niche. Like, okay, here it is. Like it's these girls, they looking for y'all. And then the rest of them is looking for people that look like them. And you know, if a white guy walks in the room, like he doesn't like, they don't just like, ooh, like they ain't doing all that. They just, okay, is that group in here? Ain't nobody in here? Okay. Like white guys have to go to, like I can go anywhere in Nairobi. I can go anywhere. But if a white guy is looking to date, he has certain places that he can go to be talking like how I'm talking right now. I wouldn't pick nowhere to permanently stay where it's like where white worship is a problem. A lot of white women love black guys. Well, why is the whole world not mixed in? It's plenty of white women that have white babies. They don't like them that much. There's a difference between sex and actually liking somebody. Whenever the whole world is one color, I believe that shit. Whew. What time is it? It's almost midnight. See, this is how I live my life now, Nairobi. I don't hang out at night. If I was hanging out right now, I'd be like, okay, it's almost midnight. It's almost time to go back to the house. I'm not doing no damn 3 a.m. So you're saying most Kenyan women prefer black men? I can swear to God that's the truth. I mean, the country is still like 99% black, ain't it? Or at least it's in the 90s. In Brazil, they prefer white boys. Like it's not in the 90s over there. They mixed over there. The results tell you what it is. Ask me something else. Yeah, most African women prefer black men. Yeah, that's why it's still black. They've been colonized for over 100 years. I think it was like what, the 1860s when they came out here. If they liked white boys, this shit wouldn't even be as black as it is. So that's not the case. I go off results. How long should you go to Nairobi for vacation? No less than 10 days. I would tell you 3 weeks, but no less than 10 days. If you're outside every day for 3 weeks, you'll want to move here. If you're here for a week, you will hate yourself because you will, for a fact, have cheap. You can't even do all the tourist stuff in 7 days here. Like I haven't done all the tourist stuff. I've done a good amount of it, but I haven't done all of it. And I've been here a total of 9 months since last year. I have noticed that somebody said the native whites in Kenya stick to their own. I've noticed that. Usually, if you want to get with like a white girl that's in Kenya, like she's gonna be a foreigner that moved here that's visiting here. Like there's Swedish women here, Turkish. What is the other one that I see a lot? I think it's from Spain. They're out here too. But they're not gonna be. You're not gonna have the ones that's born here that's white. Like they usually. There's a reason why they're still white. So I mean, it is what it is. That's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just telling you. What dark skinned chick did I go to the gym with? With an afro. I don't remember going to not with no afro. Austin, do you like white girls? I used to live in Paraguay and I used to live in Brazil, so there's too many of them out there for you to not. If you don't like that, I wouldn't have even have been there. This is a merchant. I think it's called the Merchant cigar, and it's a new cigar for this cigar shop out here. So they put a discount on it. It's literally like a Churchill. I don't know what ring gauge, but it's this, and it's a Churchill that was like it was like that. I've been smoking it for almost 3 hours now, and it was what was it like? $14, $13, $15. Yeah, I've been smoking it at least 2.5 hours, and I'm just now getting towards the end. If you come to Nairobi, I would say if you're staying 2 weeks, I would bring at least $2,000. Not that you have to spend that much, because if you stayed in the house and live like the way how you live in the States right now, if you were to come here and live like that, you would probably spend $200 or max $400 in 2 weeks, max. But if it's your first time, I'm assuming it's your first time because you asked me how much money to bring. If it's your first time, in 2 weeks, you will spend at least $1,000 a week. Not because it's that expensive. It's just because you're figuring shit out. Like, you're gonna be going, let me try this, let me try that, let me try this restaurant, let me take her on a date, let me do this too. You're gonna spend at least $1,000 a week. But I would bring 2,500 to be safe. Yeah, your SIM card does need to be unlocked. If your spending budget for eating, clubbing, doing Ubers, all that kind of shit, if your budget is only 1,000, like, you can only be out here a week, and a week is way too short to travel halfway across the world for. Somebody said 2,000 for 2 weeks. The USA doesn't cost that much. Bullshit. I'm gonna give you. I went to Austin, Texas. I was living in Dallas. I went to Austin, Texas the first time as an adult. I went there as a kid, but for the first time as an adult, I went there for 3 days, and I didn't know shit about Austin. The same way how you wouldn't know about being here. And I remember I went to one restaurant and I spent $80 on some fucking oysters. They didn't have the price of the oysters. Like, shit like that's gonna happen. So you have to have extra money just for, oh, I didn't know that was gonna be like that. You have to have. I don't spend $1,000 a week in Tampa. If you live there, you're not. Yeah, if you live, when I was living in the States, I didn't spend $1,000 a week being out and about because I was living there. But I'm talking about as a tourist. As a tourist, first of all, it's a lot of girls here. So you're gonna spend $1,000 a week just because you're gonna be trying to find out where they at, which they're everywhere. But you're gonna be trying to go to this club, go to this mall. You're gonna be outside. You're not gonna come here and be inside. Yeah, when you travel somewhere, you spend the first 2 to 3 weeks, you're gonna spend a lot of money. Actually, when I got here, I think I was just out kicking it every single day for 6 weeks when I first got back. And then by the 6th week, I was like, okay, like the women aren't going anywhere. Like, I've already seen enough stuff. I can stay in the house 3 days a week and go out 4. And then I was like, I can stay in the house 4 days a week and go out 3. I can minimize it, but it took 6 weeks for me to get like that. And really, the amount of money you spend goes off how much action you get. So when I was where was I at? When I was in Argentina, I wasn't getting a lot of action. I wasn't spending a lot of money either, because it's like, if you're not getting a lot of action, you're not really motivated. You just like, okay, like, I can go get something to eat real quick, $10 here, $30, that's $210 a week. But if you walking outside and you getting chose, and and the chicks is like looking at it and they smiling and they friendly. Oh, you gonna spend that money because I'm getting back outside. Like, well, I ain't finna sit inside. Fuck Netflix for what? I'm getting back outside. Yeah, no women, no money. Yeah, if it ain't no women, like if I drop you off in Antarctica, you ain't spending no money. But if it's a lot of women, yeah, you finna go broke because you trying to be outside. You trying to kick it. It is what it is. He said Applebee's. I didn't know they had an Applebee's in Nairobi. I've never been there. No, Argentina. I didn't get a lot of action in Argentina because they're like, you gotta remember, it's like a mostly white country with a super racist ass background, and they have a flaky culture. Like I only know one person that's been there. That's like just like killed it. But like even the women he was dealing with, he was like, yeah, these are sixes and sevens. But like if you want to go over like eights, seven, eights, and nines, like yeah, nah, you ain't finna be showing your ass out there like that. I know some dudes, but it's not the majority of dudes that went to Argentina wasn't just killing it like that. But let me tell you something else. If you don't have $1,000 a week to spend for 2 weeks, your first trip out here, don't come out here. Cause if you got $500 for your budget a week and you just coming out here for the first time, you are about to be disappointed. It's not that expensive where you gotta spend that, but I'm telling you, you will spend that. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. So, like I said, if you, for example, Ronald's in the chat right now. He was out here for what? I think a little over a month or something like that. And I had already got out of tourist mode. I was already done with like kicking it all the time. And then Ronald is with the shit. He's with the shit. So if I go out with him, he's gonna shoot. So if I kick it with him, we finna jump to 6 spots in one day. So I'm finna have to spend some money now. But for your first month, I would say you need about 5,000 to spend in Nairobi. I'm gonna say this: you will have money left over. You will have money left over. But I'm telling you to bring that because you don't know. It's a lot of shit to do here, and you really just don't know what you really about to do when you get here. Thank you, Black Tiger. Yeah, I remember you. I've been seeing you for like years. I've been seeing you for a while. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna stop smoking them cigars. I love it. Mike's opinion. What's going on? I haven't seen you since I was in Spain. I'll never go back to Madrid. You should have kept Queso. No, she was a gringo hunter. But I tell you, it's such a fucking vibe being out here. Actions speak louder than words. I've been to 25 countries and I never got a uh, unfurnished apartment until here. K Bone says, "How much do you spend on a date?" I take them to spots where the food. And here's the thing about Nairobi: you can take them to a spot where you can eat food for 1,000 shillings, right? And that's like $7 and some change. $14 right there. Drinks. It might be $30, 40, maybe 50. If I spend $80, I went to that place knowing I was gonna spend that. But usually I don't go on first date spending that. That's like a third, fourth, fifth date. Already smashed date, you know? I really like you date. So I would say $20 to $50 first date. 20 and $50 is pushing it. Cause I've been some places where I ate before I went, and then she had did the same thing, and we got 2 drinks apiece and $20 walked out of there. Noah says, "What's wrong with Madrid?" Thank you for the super chat. It was boring. It was super boring. I remember I stood in a crowd of almost 1,000 people, and I was talking on the phone, and I was the loudest person out of that crowd of 1,000 people. That don't make any sense. Eldridge, what you gotta get to me straight? So Xantos Clutch, exactly what I did, remember? I went from Lisbon to Portugal. I was loving Lisbon. It was a little more expensive because I came from Manaus, Brazil, which was really cheap. And then I went, and Manaus was amazing. It was boring as fuck, but it was amazing for dating. And they got some bad chicks there. Oh my God, they're bad. But I went, oh my God, I damn near got to go back at some point. Because that was dope being there. It was boring, but it was dope at the same time. But I went from Manaus to Lisbon. So I went from paying, if I would go to a rooftop, which I don't think I went to one, but if I did go to a rooftop in Manaus, I might spend $30 tops there. You guys remember those chicks I sat with in Lisbon? We sat at the rooftop and we talked for like 3 or 4 hours. They brought out a 950 euro bill, which was over $1,000. And the chick I was talking to, she looked at me and she was like, "Yeah, I know influencers are broke." I was like, "Yeah, I'm broke. Yeah, I'm broke. Pay that bill. Pay that bill. You can think I'm broke. Go ahead and pay that bill. Pay it. Because that should say 950 euros. I'm not, pay that bill. Pay it. Yes, I ain't got shit. I'm a refugee, matter of fact. Pay the bill." And that was in Portugal. And Portugal is like a cheaper country in Western Europe. I could only imagine if I did that shit in Spain or France or England or Belgium. I could only imagine how much that shit would have cost. Would you recommend going to the States as a Kenyan? Yeah, for a job. For a job. I only thing I'm gonna recommend any foreigner go to the States for is a job. There's only two reasons people go to the States. They're a refugee or they're looking for a job. There's a war in Afghanistan or Ukraine, they come to the States. They can't get a job in Kenya, they go to the States. Nobody goes to the States for a wife. Nobody goes to the States for peace, unless if you just fled a war. Nobody goes to the States for cheap cost of living, because you're not gonna find peace. Because people are always in my comments like, why do Americans always look around the room like this constantly? Because we're used to motherfuckers walking in a restaurant and shooting people for no damn reason. So I've never been in that situation, but when you see that on the news so many times, when you go out in public, you looking like shit. If somebody you just double checking. If somebody walk in here on that bullshit, I'm gonna get under the table. I'm gonna be the first one up out of here, one or the other. People might go to the States for education, maybe, but the States ain't the only place with a good education. But it is easy. What's going on, Patrick? I ain't seen you in like 6 months, man. I ain't seen you in like 6 months. Now, Patrick, you need to come out here to Nairobi. Every black man from the States that I know, I always tell them, if you haven't been in Nairobi, this is literally, in my opinion, I have 46, 47, 48 cities, 25 countries. This is the best place I've been to in the world. For me. Maybe not for you, but if you trust my opinion, I'm telling you, this is the best place I've been to in the world. Because once you come to Nairobi and you go somewhere else, you're not really going nowhere. Like, oh, I'm flying from Nairobi back to Portugal. Oh, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You leaving here and going to Port, you ain't going nowhere. You going back to Pattaya, you ain't going nowhere. Going back to Bangkok, oh, that's cool. You ain't really doing shit. He said, you said the same about Brazil. I bet you I hadn't been to Nairobi at that time. I was saying that before I went to Nairobi. When I got here, and I'm like, yeah, like this shit is crazy. They don't have a double taxation here in Kenya for Americans. But if you do get taxed, I think it's high. Like if you want to own a business here in Nairobi, when I was looking up, it said like 35% is taxed. So if you make 100 grand, you got to pay 35,000 in taxes, which is a lot. Well, I guess in the States it wouldn't be too far. If you make 100 grand net in the States, what do you have to pay in taxes for federal income tax? Somebody said, how much is a Nairobi consultation? $300. I don't want to hear nothing. We ain't had no problems getting it. Now, if you don't need a full hour, you can call and we can talk about it. But for an hour, yeah. So yeah, if you make some people are saying if you make a 100K, you got to pay 30 in taxes. So that's not that far off in the States. But here's the thing: if you're profiting $100,000, you should already have attorneys and shit trying to reduce your shit anyway. Like profiting, like after you do your write-offs, you wrote off as much stuff as you could, and you still was able to keep 100K. Like in that case, like you already getting money big time. Now, I have only had to pay like $1,000, 800 or $1,000 in taxes in the past 4 years. But that's because I've educated myself on the right write-offs and the right deductions. It's nothing illegal about what I've done. The IRS checks my shit every year. You have to, because I know some people that have jobs that make less money than me that have paid way more in the past 4 years. And I'm like, oh, only if you knew. Only if you read the books that you need to read. Yeah, that's another trick. If you travel, the people that travel can do the most write-offs. Like for example, if you travel to Hawaii, and Hawaii is your destination that you like to kick it at. If somehow you can make it about, if you can open a business or make some business contacts or some business reason to go to Hawaii, you can make it. You can make it a fucking write-off. If you spend 51% of your more 51 sorry, I've been drinking. 51% or more of your time working in a location that's you had to travel to, 100% of the stuff you do there is a write-off. Maybe not buying clothes, but going to eat, going to the, because it's considered a business trip at that point. So for example, like when I was traveling around the world for the past 2 years, that was work. And like that wasn't a lie. Like that was really work. Like I was making money off of YouTube, and the way how I made money off of YouTube was bouncing around and vlogging it. So if I went to the club here, 100% of that money that I spent is a write-off. If I went out to eat, that's a write-off. Everything. Now, if I went to go buy a t-shirt, that's not a write-off, but everything else is. So you have to, but I knew that before I left. So it's a setup that you have to, I'm making the book that you guys need to read if you're in America. The book that you need to read to save money on taxes is called Tax-Free Wealth. Read the book called Tax-Free Wealth. Read the entire book, and it tells you shit that you would have never thought of that is legally the right way to deduct your taxes. That's before, and he even talks about living abroad too, but before living abroad, if you live abroad, then you deduct even more taxes. Yeah, if you wear your own merchandise. But what I read in the tax code was if you buy clothes that you want to write off, it can't be something that you could just wear everywhere. So it had to be a construction site. I mean, a construction suit. Like you wouldn't walk into a club wearing a fucking construction suit. But that's a write-off. But they made it specific now where if you get a T-shirt, and hey, maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I read. If you get a T-shirt and you put your business logo on there, since you could still wear that, depending on how it looks. Now, if it's just a logo, you can get away with that. But if it's like the logo, we fix cars, call 817-254, blah, like that's not, you wouldn't wear that to the club or to a dinner or whatever. Now, for me, like a loophole, I guess I wouldn't even call it a loophole, a way that I could write off clothes for my taxes if I create a clothing line for Austin Holloman that I sell to my subscribers and I wear it every day, and that's like me advertising it. Then it's merchandise that I also sell, so it is somewhat of a write-off. But they do have in the taxes like how much of this merchandise did you keep for yourself. So you just have to learn that. Yeah, so if you have a car and let's say you're a barber and you put your barbershop logo or your barber logo and you put your phone number on there, you can write off a portion. I don't think you can write off the entire, but you can write off a portion. I think it's like 45 or 46%. You can write off 46%, let's say, of your car note. I'm telling you, get the book, Tax Free Wealth. It'll literally it'll change your life, because before that, I read that book when I was 20. So I'd only been paying taxes for like a year or two. But when I read that book, I was like, oh, okay, so when I file my 2020 taxes, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. If you get a big truck for 150 grand, it's a write off. Yeah, but then you gotta spend 150 grand on a fucking truck. So that's for a rich guy. Like if a rich guy is trying to figure out how to save taxes, then yeah. But I'm talking about like an average person that's making under 150 grand a year. Gross, not net, gross. Yeah, if you got a small business, you can save a lot of money on taxes. And the reason that you guys know that this is possible, you guys remember in 2018, Jeff Bezos was like the richest man in the world at the time. I think he was the richest man in the world at the time in 2018. And he paid $0 in income tax. You guys literally just have to educate yourself. How can you buy a house out here by booking a consultation? I'll tell you how to do it. You gotta have the cash, of course, but you gotta know the right people too. Thank you, Ozzy, for putting that booking link in there. I'm almost through with the cigar. I'm gonna put my holder on this, on my cigar holder on, so I'm gonna smoke it down to a nub and then I'm gonna go to sleep. But I did mess up on my 2023 taxes for whatever reason. I don't know how. I did not file my FEIE, my Foreign Income Exclusion Act. So like I owed them like 800 something dollars in taxes. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go back and file it. And then they sent me an email. I was like, hey, like if you don't file by this day, we're gonna freeze your bank accounts. I'm like, oh, okay, well, fuck it. Y'all got me this time. Next year, y'all won't get me. I forgot to file that, but because I shouldn't have to pay anything though. There's still a way for me to get around that, but I gave them a little something so they wouldn't freeze my accounts. But if yeah, $850 is chump change for tax. Like if you as a small business owner, 850, that's nothing. But next year I will file it because I didn't step foot in the United States one time in 2023. Like I started off in Brazil and I ended in Paraguay. Like I never went back to the States last year. So I don't know why I didn't fill out the FEIE because I wouldn't owe anything at all, but I forgot. And they told me like if you don't pay, we're gonna freeze your fucking accounts. Like yeah, because they had sent me several notifications, and I was like, I'm gonna fix it. And then I was like, okay, well, fucking, I ain't got time. The best place to live in Brazil, other than Sao Paulo, Rio, or Salvador, I would say Manaus, just because it's hot. I like heat. It's cheap. It's not a lot to do, but there's a lot of beautiful women, and that's really it. To that city, that's really it. Like after you do the Amazon tour, that's it. I'm supposed to go to Angola in February, but I don't know. I spent so much money furnishing it, getting this apartment. Like I had to spend $2,300 just to get in this apartment. That was just literally to get in. Then I had to furnish it. That was like another five, so, and I'm still not done. So that was the Angola trip right there. I mean, Angola probably would have cost like 3 or 4,000 in total for the whole thing. But I still have till February, so I don't know. But I am still traveling, but I won't be leaving here. Like this is, no matter what, I'm still going back here. Yeah, in Angola they got women that are black, with the friendliness. From what I heard, I haven't been yet, so I don't know. But with the friendliness, the body, the beautiful beaches, the beautiful city, and they speak Portuguese. I don't know what it is about black women that speak Portuguese, but that shit is so fucking sexy. You should investigate clothes expenses. Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. I can investigate that, but I have the FEIE, which I didn't file last year, but this year I will for 2024. And I spent 21 days, I think. Maybe 21, maybe 20 days in the United States this year. So that's not even, I think you got to spend 300 days or less to qualify for that. I think it's 300 days, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I didn't spend 335. I didn't spend 320. So I remember I showed a Kenyan chick here, uh, Kevin Samuels, and she loved it. She loved the show. I haven't watched Kevin Samuels in over like 2 years. Like I never really watched him once I left the States, but she loved it, and I'm like, oh, you guys know they speak perfect English. They know English very well here, but just to give you a heads up. Well, the thing is, she was looking at those ridiculous women that used to call into the show. Not all of them, but like most of them were ridiculous. And when she'd be like, I don't know, she overvaluing herself. I'm gonna take my hangover pill so I don't wake up with a hangover, even though I'm only drinking wine. Only thing I don't like about it is that fucking pill gives me gas. The hangover pill, it works. Maybe I shouldn't drink that actually, because it has B vitamins in it. And the B vitamins will keep you awake. So let me just pour this shit out actually. No, I would rather just suffer. And I'll drink it in the morning. Yeah, I'm settled here in Kenya, but I'm not as settled as I was because I got a new place. So I'm starting over with the settle. The place I was renting, yeah. What's going on, Chris? See, I remember you. The wine I'm drinking today is from South Africa. %. You guys know I only drink Cabernet Sauvignon. KWV. He said it's in my car, it's my clothes. I don't know what it is out here. I don't know it's in my car. I don't know, but I'm on one. I'm on top. How do you deal with missing your family? I see my family, but with FaceTime and phone calls, you don't miss your family as much because you can contact them in every way but in person. You can literally see them. I think Ciudad del Este was a better city for nightlife in Paraguay. But the women were better in Asuncion. Good afternoon, Lady J's Black Eye View. On the road with Kel, what's going on? That was last week you just left, right? $80 a date in Kenya is like pushing it big time. Like it's unnecessary as hell. You use a pair of scissors. You could use a toothpick instead of that. Ask me another question for me to go on topic about it. I'm gonna go on it right now. I went to Mombasa. Not interested in going back. It was beautiful. Food was good. Hot. It was nice. It was beautiful. Dar was the best food in the world. Beautiful, hot, women, good amount of stuff to do every day. But and the people were nice. But I would go if I go back to the coast in Kenya, which I will. I'm gonna go to Watamu or Diani or Malindi or somewhere else, not Mombasa. Why should we stop procreating in America? Let me use the bathroom real quick. I'm about to do a sermon about that real quick. Hold on. Anyway, so you say, why should you stop procreating in America? Why should you stop? And this is actually gonna be my next video that I'm gonna put out about this. So, some people, motherfuckers that like to invalidate what's really going on in America love to say, oh, y'all just aren't picking right. Y'all are picking women that are looking to put y'all on child support. Okay. So I made the analogy. If you have a baby in America, it's literally like buying a king cobra snake from an egg while it's in an egg. And you raise it. And you say, maybe this cobra won't kill me one day. But it's a deadly fucking snake. And you don't know when it's gonna kill you until it does. It's the same way when having a kid in America. Like, yeah, you could have a chick that y'all cool. You had a baby, it's yours. You get a DNA test if you want to. You know it's your baby. And then for whatever reason, you don't take the trash out one day. So now she don't like you. And she decides she don't want you no more. And then guess what? That cobra is striking on you now. Now you're paying $1,800 a month for one child. It got you. It got you. At some point, maybe not everybody, maybe you could raise a cobra and it loves you because you feed it, you give it rats or whatever the fuck you give it. Maybe it's okay. But most people are not gonna be like that when they raise a cobra. And the thing about a snake is, like I said, you don't know when it's ready to attack you until it does. You don't know. So, the way how America is set up, see, child support, they have child support in other countries, but in other countries, if you get put on child support, it's like, how much does it cost to take care of the baby? Here you go. In America, they like, the government gets a cut out of it. And they're like, okay, well, it costs this much to take care of a baby, but you make this much. So you gotta pay more. The cost of living doesn't go up for the baby, but you gotta pay more because you making more money. So now, if you making $10,000 a month, the guy that's making 4,000 probably gotta pay $700, $800 a month, but you gotta pay 1,500. Y'all in the same city, but because you earn more money, you gotta pay more. And if you don't pay, we putting your ass in jail. Like, there's no reason that, like, you guys see how celebrities get on child support and they paying 40,000, 30,000, 15, 10, 8, $9,000 for one child? What child in the United States costs $9,000? So here's the thing: if I'm with her and I'm making $1 million a month, I might spend 3,000 because we're living an extravagant lifestyle because I'm making $1 million a month. I might pay 3,000. This is just an example. I don't make $1 million a month. We're paying 3,000 to take care of this child, which it doesn't cost that much to take care of a child. It doesn't. The child doesn't pay rent. He just, if we talking about childcare, he might need clothes once every 3 months, food every month, football fees for school, shit like that. That shit ain't exceeding $800 a month. How the fuck does it cost $10,000 a month, or $8,000, even $5,000 a month to take care of a child? I don't care if I'm a fucking billionaire. It doesn't cost 30 grand a month to take care of a child. It doesn't. So if you're giving, because most of the women that are charging it ain't shit anyway. They ain't shit. So she don't even have to, if a chick gets pregnant by Future and she gets 30 grand a month in child support, she doesn't have to work for the next 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. 30 grand a month. If you making 30 grand a month, you are living just fine in the States. You can go get you a $2,500 apartment, which is really good. 3,000. Let's make it 3,000. 3,000. She can go get a $3,000 a month apartment. Right? $3,000 a month. Groceries aren't going to exceed $500 or $600 a month. They're not going to exceed that. She can go put that motherfucker in private school. She's still sitting on more than 20 grand a month. What are they going? What the fuck is she doing with the? It doesn't cost that. Look, a 5-year-old kid doesn't need clothes no more than 4 months out of the year. Every 4 months, because they're growing, every 4 months you might need to buy him clothes. If you're paying her 30 grand a month, you're some celebrity, you're some rich guy that's making 30 grand a month. Do you know how much excess she has in income from your child support? So she's gonna be sucking and fucking off of your child support. Literally. She got $25,000 just in her pocket per month. Like, she literally hit the gold mine. She got $25,000 sitting in excess. And okay, I know not every woman's like that. That's the women that get pregnant by rich men and celebrities. But when does it cost that much to raise a child? You could be in New York. You could be in Switzerland. It doesn't cost 25. I could, if for $25,000 a month in Switzerland, I could live good. I could have 3 girlfriends and pay their rent for 25 grand a month. In excess. So she'll watch, she got your money, she using you, and she paying her boyfriend rent. Like, oh yeah, you know I got Austin, that A-list celebrity that's been on Hollywood. I got his money. Like, yeah, I'll pay your rent. Just keep smashing me. That's really what they got going on in the States. That's what's going on. That's why I said don't procreate. That's just child support. Then they go to school and they get indoctrinated to say, oh, men and yeah, these are 2 Kenyan bracelets. 2 of them. Men and women are the same. One can give birth and one can't. One has a period and one doesn't. One can attack a mountain lion, one doesn't stand a chance. One can pick up a TV at ease, one cannot. One is supposed to take out the trash, the other is supposed to not. They're not the fucking same. They don't even have the same bone structure. They don't have the same sexual protection. Like, I wear a condom. She doesn't. Like, what are we talking about? I'm so glad I'm not over there. And I'm not gonna be real. It's some chicks overseas that, so in America, they just grew up thinking like, oh, we're the same, ain't nothing different. I'm not your mama. Overseas, you got chicks that are just professional con artists that know like, okay, well, I can use the system this way to get you. But over in the States, it's just like, they grow up thinking that shit. Women can wear condoms. How many have you fucked that wore a condom? None. I've never seen a female condom. They exist. I've never seen one. Not in person. So, again, why would you have a baby in the States? You can get raped in child support. They gonna get indoctrinated in school. They got dudes that get bullied in school, turn 21, so they go to elementary school and kill all the kids. Why? And then on top of that, when I'm over here, when I'm at these malls, when I'm at these places here in Kenya, I hear kids screaming, playing with each other, having fun. When I'm in the States, I go to the mall, it's not, adults are not even there. You go to the park in the neighborhood or the apartments, kids don't even play outside no more in the States. Why the fuck would you want to have a kid there? Go to theaustinholloman.com if you want to book a consultation. Whenever dudes try to say, oh, American women aren't that bad, they might not be that bad for you. But here's the thing, if she ever felt like you hit her, she can just say that shit. She don't need a bruise, don't need a scratch, a cut, nothing. Your ass is in jail. Why would I want to be somewhere like that? Why would I want to be somewhere like that? All she gotta do is say you raped her, you hit her. Done. No evidence, nothing. Done. I don't want to be nowhere like that. And I'm not even gonna blame American women. It's just, if you give anybody that power to just lie and your life is over with, why would you want to be there? Why would you want to be somewhere where the odds are stacked against you? Why? Anyway, y'all, I'm not gonna touch on that topic too much because I'm gonna make a video about that, about why I would rather have a kid in another country. I'm gonna break it down. It's gonna be a video. I love you too, Black Tiger. I love you too. That video coming up, it's gonna be about 30 or 40 minutes. It's gonna be about 30 or 40 minutes. Cause I'm gonna go through the scenario. Like if I have a kid here in Kenya, he's gonna have friends that he could play outside with. He's gonna go to a school, and I'm not religious, but I'm just saying he's gonna go to a school that's Christian based. You know, the society is Christian based. He's not gonna be indoctrinated with these false ideas that have never been indoctrinated. You know, it's Chrissy, I'm glad I changed your life, man. But it is what it is. Don't have no more kids in the States. Besides child support, why? You're raising them in a society that's aging in reverse. Well, actually, no, they're not. Because the further you go back, it probably better it was for a damn kid. For anybody. For a woman, for a man, for a child, for the elderly. Why would you add to that population? You already got 330 million people. You don't need no more of them motherfuckers anyway. If you are at a certain tax bracket, it's okay to raise them in Kenya. Well, guess what? Let me tell you something. My channel, when I talk about these type of topics, is geared towards Americans. I wouldn't be telling Kenyans, oh, they're indoctrinating your kids with this stuff. That's not happening here. from my knowledge. So I'm not talking to Kenyans. I'm not talking to Brazil. I'm talking to Americans. Americans make more than 70% of my audience. So I'm not talking to Kenya. I'm talking to Americans. So if an American comes here, yes, they will. More than likely, they will. Be it more. I hope so. They'll be in a different tax bracket. Don't have no more babies in the States. Don't. It's not your best interest, male or female. Anyway, you guys, I'm about to go to sleep. I love you guys. If you guys enjoyed the show, the Cash App is $Austin Holloman. Donate if you want, $Austin Holloman. Or send a super chat at the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna wrap it up in a minute, 60 seconds. I love you too, Chrissy. Yes, I will be going to Madagascar and South Africa. I can't tell you when, but I will. I will go. I'm gonna go on vacation. This is my new United States. I'm not saying it's the United States. I'm saying this is where I was born in the United States. So this is my new United States now. I'm in the house more often, so I might go live more often because if I'm in the house all the time, I can stay on live till 3 in the morning. I don't want to, but I'll do it for y'all, but not all the time. If you guys want to come to Nairobi, go to theaustinholloman.com or visit the link in my first pinned comment or description of any other video, not this video, any other video, not live stream, video, and you can book a consultation. I'll see you guys.